Hi there, happy Tuesday. Today's topic is efficiency. So I'm talking to you if you are the type of person that values and honors and tries to be as efficient as possible. So, first question for you is how often are you disappointed, frustrated, finding yourself blaming yourself or others? How often is this focus on efficiency resulting in, a not great life experience? We're living through that frustration, that fault, that blame, that disappointment, all of those things that come from things, just the smallest little thing going wrong and then not being as efficient, or because you're planning so specifically for efficiency that once one domino falls, then they all end up falling. Once one thing is a minute late, then by the end of the day, you're 45 minutes late for the last thing, because everything just keeps, because you're planning at such an efficiency that things just fall apart. And so what we're talking about here is, as with pretty much all of these videos, and my focus is your life experience, right? Because that's all that really matters at the end when we're looking 20 years from now and we're looking back. All that we really remember is how things felt, our life's experiences, right? That's basically all life is an accumulation of experiences. And so not necessarily what they are, but how they felt, right? That's what we pull into the future. That's what our memory is attached to, is the emotions. How many times have you tried to explain a conversation you had with someone or an experience you had with someone, and you're like, well, I don't exactly remember what it was about, but I was pissed, right? Like, you don't even remember the topic anymore. You don't remember the subject matter, but you remember the experience that you went through. You remember how it felt. And so what we're talking about is, if we want to look back on a fulfilling, happy, not even happy, but just a fulfilling life, or a life that we're proud of, we have to look at what emotions we are conjuring with our actions. What emotions are we feeling and passing on to others? And so if you do find yourself in disappointment and frustration and blame more of a percentage of the time than you would like, let's take a look at if there is a focus on perfectionism, efficiency, always trying to find the best, rightest, mostest thing, right? And so this is the downfall to that, is because there is no such thing as perfect. Because here's what happens also when we're planning for efficiency, we often don't take into consideration things that we don't currently see. And because we're so efficient, chances are we're not allowing a lot of time to be thorough in taking into consideration all of the factors that are coming into play. And so when one of these outside or contributing factors ends up messing with our outcome, again, that causes disappointment, frustration, blame. I should have thought of that. Well, maybe, and maybe not, right? So here's the deal. If you are truly efficient, if you truly value efficiency, it is important. This is going to sound counterintuitive, but I promise you that if you value efficiency, it's also important to plan for all of the things you don't know. And so it's time to start planning some cushions. It's time to, when you are estimating time, estimate more time. If you are estimating an outcome, make sure you give some type of cushion, energetically, time-wise, emotionally, grace towards others and yourself, of just expect that there will be something that you don't know going into it. Plan for the unknown. Plan for the unexpected. Plan for the thing that is either a mistake or an oversight or just some kind of something that you didn't take into consideration before entering into this, before giving yourself a timeline, be it mental or time-wise or whatever that is, whatever your expectation is. So we need to make sure that our expectations have a little bit of cushion in there. And now that might sound counterintuitive because the reason I'm being efficient is so I can get more things done. Well, again, when we are acting and making decisions out of frustration, disappointment, and blame, guess what? That slows everything down. It colors our focus. It colors our ability to see wide things. Once we are in those emotions of frustration and disappointment and blame, our vision, sometimes literally as well as mentally, gets narrowed and just like, oh, it just gets pinpointed. So we are unable to see the bigger picture, which means we are unable to see other potential issues that might come up, which means we're just setting ourselves up for that next domino to fall. I know that I'm talking a big generality, so I want to make sure, I'm going to try and make this super clear. So the bottom line here is, if you find yourself frustrated, disappointed, in blame, a fair percentage of the time, or even just more than you would like, it's time to look at your own planning and expectations. And are you expecting something unexpected to happen? Are you planning for the unexpected? Are you planning for missing something in the planning stages or just in your overall knowledge? And then the other thing to do is, once, that thing that previously was considered a failure, if you plan for the cushion, if you plan the cushion in there so that you give yourself some more time and grace, you still get to meet your deadline. And you've learned something new so that the next time you are trying something like this, you have more data to take into consideration the next time you're planning a similar thing. Mistakes, unexpected things are to be celebrated. Hear me? All those icky things that make us feel terrible because we missed our deadline, they are to be celebrated because that is what wisdom is made of. It is made of unexpected life experiences that teach us something new. So all these mistakes, all they're doing, as long as you're valuing them and celebrating them, are growing your knowledge base and your wisdom base so that in the future you can be even more efficient. So in the long run, building in cushions now, expecting the unexpected, celebrating the fact that something went wrong is the way to become the most efficient over time and build your wisdom, build your knowledge base, and be able to more accurately prepare in the future. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to hear about, and I'll talk to you next week.